just think, for instance, where I come from. So I come from like a poverty neighborhood, and people that had the money were the drug dealers, right? So everybody wanted to be a drug dealer. But what if we was in an environment where everyone was doctors and they had money, or everyone had attorneys? That means we want to be a doctor or an attorney, right? So your money mindset, or the way you behave around money, is based on your unique experience around money. And I think that's a good thing why you want to like change your environment or whatnot, so that you can get in a better environment and you can see, okay, well, this is how these people, make money or think about money. And then the more you're in that environment, your thought process, starts to change on how you behave with money. Greetings. Welcome to Finding Chalanda Michelle. And I am Chalanda Michelle. And on this channel, among other things, we talk about finding the highest, truest, fullest expression of yourself. And we do that by Thrive. And Thrive is 9 foundational practices that I adhere to. That's spelled Thrive. Time alone with God, help others, rest, invest in yourself, visualize your future, voice your confessions, expect good things to happen, exercise, and eat healthy. And we are going to talk about practice number 4, invest in yourself. So I'm on this journey of raising my wealth consciousness, increasing my money mindset, changing my money mindset. So I'm doing that by investing in myself, by reading 12 books on personal finance. I want to be another person when it pertains to finances. I want to do better with my finances. So there's a scripture that says that people perish for a lack of knowledge. So I'm here trying to increase my knowledge, and I want to share what I've learned, because knowledge is wealth. They say you learn more, you earn more. I want to share with you all what I've learned. So the first book out of the 12 books I'm reading was Psychology of the Money by Morgan Housel. And it's a really good book. Once again, I'm trying to change the mindset. It's not necessarily what should I do with the money, but how I behave with money. And Mr. Housel talks about that. He stated that, and I'm going to read what he says. I took some notes here, what he actually said. He said that the premise of the book is people who deal well with money has a lot to do with how one behaves. So he thinks that your behavior has a lot to do with if you do well with money or if you do bad with money. And he didn't leave us much hope. He said behaviors are hard to teach. So they're like habits, It's kind of hard to form good habits, but it's easy to form bad habits. So you can say behaviors are habits. And he gives us 20 chapters, and each chapter is like a short story. And he states that there are 20 flaws, there are 20 biases and causes of bad behavior. So he gives us like 20 examples of why people fail at money, why they fail at wealth or whatnot. And he also says this, he said, we make money decisions based on our unique experiences. So he has this one chapter like, no one's crazy, because everyone is born at a different time. They're born in a particular demographic and geographical location. So based on who your parents were, based on what environment you was raised in, based on when you were born, was it the 1920s, the 1990s, the 2000s, based on your family's background, that determines how you behave with money, because you have your own unique experience and it all makes sense, right? So you're going to take on the behavioral habits of money from your parents or an authority figure in your life, or even the people in your neighborhood. I just think, for instance, where I come from. So I come from like a poverty neighborhood, and people that had the money were the drug dealers, right? So everybody wanted to be a drug dealer. But what if we was in an environment where everyone was doctors and they had money, or everyone was had attorneys? That means we want to be a doctor or an attorney, right? So your money mindset, or the way you behave around money, is based on your unique experience around money. And I think that's a good thing why you want to like change your environment or whatnot, so that you can get in a better environment and you can see, okay, well, this is how these people, make money or think about money. And then the more you're in that environment, your thought process, starts to change on how you behave with money. I thought it was a really good point he made. He stated also the key to amassing wealth and growing your money is you need to have a high savings rate. And he states that most people want a reason to save. Oh, I'm saving for a vacation. Oh, I'm saving for a new car. Oh, I'm saving for a house. Oh, I'm saving for my baby. But he was like, you just should not save for the known, but you should save for the unknown. No one knew a global pandemic was coming. No one knew that the housing bubble was going to burst. I'm sure a few people know, but but the mass majority of people didn't know. So you want to save for the unknown. You always just want to be saving. He said you want to have a high savings rate. Just save for no reason. Save for the unknown. I like that. And it's always every finance book we hear about the importance of time. So he gave this really good example about Warren Buffett. So Warren Buffett is like the richest investor there is, and everyone wants to focus on his methodology of creating his wealth. But he said no one ever focuses on the fact that Warren Buffett has been investing since he was 10 years old. So he's been investing for 3/4 of a century. A century is 100 years. So he's been investing for 75 years. So he's been in this investment game for a very long time. And he stated another point too. Is a lot of people don't know that the majority of his wealth was accumulated when he was a senior citizen. So even though he had been investing all those years, it wasn't until his 60s that he got like 80-some billion dollars or $1 million, which is the majority of his wealth. And he used an example saying that Warren Buffett is not the greatest investor because there's another individual that his return on investment was like 66% average. But because he did not start when Warren Buffett started, Warren Buffett is still far ahead of him when it comes to, wealth or his net worth or whatnot. But he stated that Warren Buffett's average return on investment is like around 20-something%. But because he has been investing that long, it gives him that advantage among everybody else. So what's important when it comes to amassing wealth is your behavior, how you behave with money. Secondly, your savings rate, having a high savings rate. He stated that is not how much you make, but it's how much you keep. And then thirdly, the time that you start investing. Time is very important. And he gave this really good opening in the book. He talked about this individual named Mr. Ronald Reed. Ronald Reed, he was just an ordinary guy. He was a janitor. He also was a gas station attendant. He was the first person in his family to graduate from high school, not college, high school. He was known in the neighborhood for chopping wood. Ronald Reed did not become famous until he died. People came to know that he was a multi-millionaire. This man lived in a 2-bedroom house. He was a janitor and a gas station attendant with only a high school education. And when he died, he left his stepkids $2 million, and he left the local hospital and library $6 million. So once again, it's not about how much you make. It's about how much you keep and what you do with it. So he invested in blue chip stock, and I'm assuming that he never sold. He just kept reinvesting, putting his money in there, the compounded interest, and so he died a multi-millionaire. So this book is an awesome read. I recommend it. Go out and get it. The Psychology of Mind by Morgan Housel. So if you read it or if you read it, let me know in the comments. If any of this information speaks to you, leave a leave something in the comments and let me know what part speaks to you, what part you know to be a fact in your own life, and are you on a journey to improve your wealth consciousness, your money mindset. I actually got this book from, believe it or not, a thrift store. It was like $1.49. That was like, wow, God, you really wanted me to read this book. So yeah, subscribe to the channel, like or dislike the video, leave a comment, and also share it with your circle of influence. Thank you and have a great day. Mwah. Bye.